So I had this little clever bit I was going to do with some knives and my old Wolverine Halloween costume, but you know what? This movie emotionally drained me so much that I'll tell you what, just roll the thing. All right, so today we're here to talk about the new film Logan. It's one of my most anticipated movies of the year, and I'm very excited to talk about it. But first, let's make the drink, and the drink is called the Old Man Logan. The Old Man Logan Cocktail it's supposed to be Old Granddad whiskey, but I'm just going to use Jack. So 2 parts whiskey and a half part of everything else. So a half part of Galliano because old men drink it, half part lime, half part orange, and bitters. All into a shaker, shaken up, and put into a rocks glass. All right, so let's do this. 2 parts. 1, 2. Okay, so Logan is directed and written by James Mangold, who directed the last Wolverine movie, and stars, possibly for the last time, Hugh Jackman as Logan, or Wolverine. And it also brings back Patrick Stewart as Charles Xavier, the ever-compassionate Professor Charles Xavier. This time it's set in the not-too-distant future, where mutants are all but gone and extinct and no new ones are being born, and Logan's taking care of an ailing Professor Charles Xavier, and then they run into this kind of, new mutant girl, and their lives are literally changed forever in this new movie. So let's shake this up and see how it is. All right, so I'm gonna come right out and say it. This movie is amazing. I loved it. It is a sad movie, I have to say. I watched this movie about these characters that I've grown up to just love. Grown up, I mean, it's been like 17 years, but I've come to love, and I had this kind of feeling of melancholy throughout the whole thing, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. Let's try this drink. Old Man Logan, the Galliano. Cheers, everybody. Good luck with this one. Now, this movie hits all the right notes it needs to hit. I mean, it is emotionally impactful. It has amazing action in it. The story is pretty compelling, but pretty simple at the same time, but it's never boring. And like I said in the intro, this thing really emotionally drained me, and that's really a good thing. So let's start off by talking about how amazing Hugh Jackman is in this movie. I mean, he's been playing this character for the past a little over 17 years, almost 18 years. And I'm not just saying this because of my unhealthy man crush I have on the man. I'm sorry, what was I talking about? Oh, yeah, Hugh Jackman, Patrick Stewart. Look, they've been playing these characters for, like I said, the better part of 18 years, and they've become so familiar, so comfortable in these roles that you've just grown to love them, and you can tell by this movie completes the evolution of these characters so well, and it's because of these 2 actors that it works. I mean, it just works on every level. Now, these 2 characters are arguably the best 2 characters in the X-Men cinematic universe, short of Magneto as well. And if this is, as the 2 actors have said, their last outing, it is almost a perfect send-off for them. I just absolutely loved it. And just really quick, Daphne Keane, who plays the little girl they ran into, the X-23 character, is really awesome. She really kicks ass in this movie. She does some questionable things for a little girl, girl, kind of similar to the Hit Girl and Kick-Ass movies. But look, she is amazing. She works really well with Hugh Jackman and Patrick Stewart, and she's really great in the little quiet moments. But man, when she has to, get in there and get dirty and kick ass, she really, really does. So the reason why I say it's questionable for a 11 or 12-year-old to do this movie is because this movie is violent. That's right, 3 syllables worth of violent with a capital V. Remember back in 2003 when X-Men 2 came out and we were all excited because of the trailers, because we thought we would really get to see Wolverine go berserker rage and defend the school from Stryker soldiers? Nope, not even a little. We did not get even a taste in that movie of what true Wolverine berserker rage is. In this movie, we do, and that R rating really helps with that. I mean, this movie is bloody, it's visceral, and it's fantastic. I mean, this movie does not pull punches. It goes all out, claws and everything. Now, without spoiling anything, this movie ends in a very surprising way that Hollywood normally shies away from. Now, personally, I would have liked maybe one more scene between Logan and the little girl to make their relationship just that much more concrete and emotionally satisfying, but otherwise it really worked. And look, I'm speaking to now all the directors and writers of these comic book movies nowadays. This movie has danger and it has stakes, and it makes the payoff at the end that much more emotionally satisfying. This movie goes places that most comic book movies are afraid to go to, and Hollywood is actually trusting the audience enough to go that far, and I'm really surprised, but I'm really happy about that. Now, I only have 1.5, I guess, minor negatives about the movie. There's a character that shows up, again, without spoiling anything, shows up about around the end of the second act, and it's a big baddie for Logan to contend with, and it's done well, it's shot well, the effects are great, and the action is still very, very visceral and very, hardcore, but I'd wish they'd use a different character or a different idea with this, maybe somebody more recognizable from the comic books that might not have been as recognizable to people that aren't familiar with them. Second, there's a storyline in the movie that doesn't quite get resolved, and there's not that much closure on it, and I wish there was a little bit more closure with it. It's teetering on a cliffhanger, and so it ends great. But there's one little storyline that just isn't tied up in a nice neat bow, and I was kind of hoping for some sort of closure with that, and I didn't really get it. So if everybody hasn't realized by now, I really love this movie. I'm going to give it a 4.5 drinks out of 5. This truly is the Wolverine movie we've all been asking for, and they finally delivered on it. As a quick side note, I really liked X-Men Apocalypse. It is far from a perfect movie. It actually has a lot of flaws, and a lot of people thought it was really bad, and that's fine. So my thoughts are that if this movie ends in such a way, if 20th Century Fox decides to cap off the X-Men cinematic universe and maybe reboot it in like 5 to 10 years, this movie really does cap it off in such a way that I would be very happy with that. Continue on with the Deadpool stuff, because I love that, but as far as the main cinematic universe, maybe you can cap it off here and start anew in a few years. Anyway, thanks everybody for joining me. Have a drink on me. Cheers, everybody.